Alright, so I was asked by the community to make a video on how to assemble the belt. I thought it was very straightforward, but some people want a little bit more help on that. No problem. Here's the ENDER bender in front of you, fully assembled. Awesome. There are a couple options that we have to make a conveyor belt on this. For starters, we have the custom belt option that we got from Powerbelt 3D. Adam there, he decided to help us out and make these custom belts just for us. Even gave us a $10 discount on those. You just have to go to the Facebook page, and on there in the announcements has the what's it called? It has the discount code. Anyway, let's continue. So yeah, there's two options that we tested out. One option is obviously the more cost-effective, and one option is the, I figured the more reliable, because, I didn't make the belt. Most people don't really rely on their handiwork, but anyway, I'm going to show you the first cost-effective option that I use for prototyping. Julie uses only, and she gets perfect prints, as you can see by her awesome videos and her time lapses. This is a steel shim. This is the wrong steel shim, but this is the best example I can give you offhand. A steel shim should be thicker than this, 0.5 millimeters, 0.05 millimeters. This is 0.02 millimeters, so this is definitely more flimsy, but imagine what a thicker one would look like. I haven't assembled it yet, but here is what it comes in, and this is a 0.05 millimeter steel shim. There's a difference between a steel shim and aluminum foil. People think they can get away with using aluminum foil. Aluminum foil is good, but it is too flimsy in my opinion. Some people have better options. Some people use Captain tape sheets to get themselves a good even roll. That's also a great option. But in this case, I'm going to explain how the steel shim, you would assemble it. So off the bat, these steel shims come in 12 inches or 300 millimeters across, 330 I guess. What you would do is you would first take that out, roll it out on a flat surface, measure out 220 millimeters, and then just cut it straight. Best way to do that is when it's in this position, you would fold the excess on a straight edge, like an edge of a table or an edge of a workbench, and you fold it over so you'd have a perfect bend. And some people can go bend it 100 times back and forth, but this is a very long belt, so you can bend it and then use I use a craft blade to cut it through, and it's perfect cut. Or you can even use one of those cardboard cutters. They can cut straight through it, and then you'd have a straight edge. Obviously I don't trust my cut, but the best part to do was what I did, is take the PET tape. I think that's one of the best materials that we have. PET tape, and just line up on the edges and just layer half of it on one edge and then just fold it over to the other half. This way it gives you a good seam, so to speak, on both sides. So not bad at all. This obviously again is a 0.02 steel shim, so obviously it's creased because it's not as thick. But to remedy all these creases and bends and bumps, this one is definitely damaged a lot because I threw it around because I wasn't using it for a while, is the blue tape. And blue tape is not expensive as I would like to believe, and it's very easy to replace. So basically, after I put the steel belt on, I took a piece of blue tape. I started from one edge and it just kept on going in circular motions. What I like to do is I like to start from one edge and then eventually get periodic different seams, so it wouldn't have all one seam to do. With that all being said, that is everything in one shot as far as the steel belt is concerned. And of course, the assembly in this would be the same, which I'm about to show you for the Powerbelt 3D. Now, for the Powerbelt 3D custom belt that we got, which is here, still in the wrapping, comes in very good packaging with bubble wrap and everything. So now I'm going to take it out of its nice saran wrap. Adam, I assume, packs it like this, so this way he can it can keep its shape. It doesn't have any bends in it. Obviously, I wasn't so nice to this one. But let's get through this one real quick. This is going to be a long video. It's just going to be a quick, simple, let's just pop it on. So he uses 2 pieces of PET just to seal it. And I follow the instructions according to his website. It's very intuitive, explains the process, explains, you know, a little bit of the science behind it all. And boom, you have the belt. You have 2 sides. You have a full sheet PET side, and then you have his custom formula grip side over here. And this grip side is awesome because it would work with rollers that aren't necessarily as gripped as we did. So for anti-slippage. The way PET tape works, and Adam explained it to me, is that it works under pressure. So if you see you might have a bubble, you just need to press it down and it works a lot better. So here we go. We're going to take the grip side and we're just going to roll it through. There we go. Obviously I have something underneath the printer, shouldn't be, but let's do it like that. Excuse me while I get a little bit noisy and handsy. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think this is going to be good. Let me just, I'm back to underneath my Giants plaque. They are not in the Super Bowl this year. All right. Oh, see, I had something on my table. I wasn't supposed to be there. This is the old fan shroud. Okay, great. So let's put this through. All right, so we're about halfway through here. We're just gonna put it like this towards the center as much as possible. There's a couple ways of doing this. Some people like to put a piece of, well, I'll do it this way. Put a piece of blue tape here just to hold it in while you prep the other part. Now, the other part is what comes with the power belt, and it's these adhesives. Pretty much this is pieces of blue tape, not blue tape, PET tape. So he gave me 4 pieces, I think, because last time I kept on opening and closing it, so I kept on, you know, losing the stickiness from it. And the best way to do this is to lay it down over here. He gives you extra, so you don't have to be super precise, but the more precise you are, obviously the better when it comes to 3D printing. So first I would do, don't worry if you're touching the tape, because again, it works based off of, it's not going to be as sticky. It works off of pressure. So I'm going to just line it up here with the edge. This way I know what I'm taping. I'm going to use those 2 screws as my points. This way I know that I'm taping the belt somewhat straight. It doesn't make a difference, I'll be very, very honest with you. And the reason why is because you're about to line it up on the other end. The other end is what makes a difference. So now that I have the tape on, I could have it more deeper in. I just, you know, it doesn't make much of a difference like I said before. And, you know, that's why I said the blue tape over there, so it keeps it from flying away, because it's natural, I guess, ways to be straightened out, which is good. It helps us from creases and stuff like that, and helps us with the radius turn. Okay, so one hand on the top, one hand on the bottom. Find those corners. I put my thumb here to make sure it lines up and I can feel it flush, one against another. And then I will do the same across the whole thing. Keep in mind the printer belt right now is not under tension. And make sure you line it all up right here. And perfectly done. Great. Okay, so now as you can see, it's perfectly seamed. But I want to check. So as you can see, I have a little bit off and a little bit off here. Let's redo it for argument's sake. And that's why I didn't tape it all in one shot. This way I can always redo it. We want to make sure it's as, I like to be precise when it comes to this, because when it's a belt and it's constantly moving, you don't want it to be a little bit off. If it's off, then what happens is the belt will roll towards one side. Even though I tapered the rollers, there's little science involved there with tapers and stuff like that. Even though I did that, I made sure to, how do you say this, to taper them so this way the belt will center itself based off how it's rolling. Okay, so look, we have the belt not under tension. It looks great. Now we're going to do with another piece of this PET that came here. I'm going to pull it all out, and we're going to place it straight on to the other PET. Again, it doesn't have to be straight at this point because we already did the flush part, but for argument's sake, we'll keep it as flush as possible. Try to make the tape even. This part you want to put with pressure. Obviously one sticks to another very well. My luck. One sticks to another very well, and you don't want to have any bubbles. Kind of like cell phones, you don't want to have bubbles. Here we go. And you want to flat it out. You can use a credit card. I prefer to use my fingers, but you can use a credit card or anything with a straight edge. I have this small ruler over here, and we're just gonna go through it like that so it's all flat. And as you can see, you can't really see it transparent anymore. That means that it's well done. So now what do you do with the rest? The side edges. Some people fold it over. If you'd fold it towards the side that prints, and that's the reason is because you want to make sure that you are secure, and you don't want to have any extra imbalance on the bottom of the rollers. The next thing I would do is take a blade. On the metal is fine because we are not worried about if this metal gets scratched, and just cut it through. Boom. There we go. Like that. And the same for the other side. Perfect. Great.